Well, that's probably the perfect place to leave it, but I can't resist asking one more question, which probably constitutes something of a faux pas when in the institutional world, because people might talk about crypto, but no one's ever going to talk about Bitcoin. But let me put this to you, that everything that you've thus far described is incredibly disruptive to the status quo. But Bitcoin is incredibly disruptive to everything you've just described, isn't it?
It is and it isn't. I think so.
I agree. Actually, it is, and it's a part of it.
Yeah, and it's a part of it,
Okay.
right? So I think you need to. Bitcoin is one form of stored value, right? Gold is a form of stored value.
They're very similar.
But it's
Very
also a medium of exchange.
It's a medium of exchange, as is gold.
Yeah.
So people.
Gold is a currency.
Yeah,
That's what I always tell
gold
people.
is a currency.
It's not very useful, actually.
Yeah. So
gold.
why do people want Bitcoin, or why is Bitcoin becoming a bit like gold, which is becoming part of everybody's portfolio a little bit there? Because people want to have something that's entirely uncorrelated to central banks who control monetary policy. So they want a store of value that's uncorrelated, that acts as a hedge to typical currencies that are controlled by central banks and interest rates and etc. And that's part of the reason we've always had a fondness, I guess, as the human race for gold, because that was the de facto standard. Now you have an electronic version of that, which is Bitcoin. So it's actually forming part of the financial services infrastructure in a way.
And it's part of the solutions that we were talking about, Bitcoin or others, to be honest. But let's
Could be
use
Ethereum,
Bitcoin.
it could be
anything.
Solana. I mean,
but how is it part of it? Because again, the transfer of Bitcoin from one person to the other is frictionless, it's instantaneous, etc., etc., etc. It is not part of it because it is ultimately completely unregulated. And I do believe that stablecoin probably offer at least a first step that is more likely to be embedded in the existing financial system that is being embedded in financial system today. The volatility of Bitcoin is such that it's unlikely that a money transfer business, for instance, would use Bitcoin for its internal transfers, when money is being sent from the US to Nigeria, for instance, whereas a stablecoin is exactly the right way to do that.
I mean, just to put it into context, today stablecoin volumes are greater than Visa and Mastercard's volumes combined.
Yeah.
So that's already today. We're already in a world where this is becoming a big part of the financial services infrastructure.